It's your boy Pounds. You're tuned in to Insomniac Mag since '96.
Rochester, Mike Slayer Pounds. What's happening, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm out here working.
Over the past few years, man, you've been definitely on the scene doing your thing. How many projects do you have out now?
Around like 11, maybe 11.
Right.
I got like 11 joints streaming on iTunes.
And that was since what?
2016.
Wow. So you've been really busy. You've been killing it, man. You've been doing a lot of things, not only the music, but also I understand you're doing some acting in the upcoming Big L biopic. Tell me a little bit about how that came about.
Basically, you know, the people that were shooting the movie just hit me on Facebook. They're like, yo, you favorite Big Pun? How do you feel about playing him in the Big L movie? I'm like, shit, I'm all for it. You know, let me know what's good. You know, and then COVID hit, things kind of got drawn out. And then as soon as like COVID started to break up a little bit in the tri-state area, they called me and like came right in. We, you know, knocked out the scenes. It was dope, man.
Very nice. Very nice. Any idea when that's coming out, or it's?
I actually don't know. I'm assuming spring though, for sure.
And I could only imagine that you are indeed a fan of not only DITC, since you work with one of the iconic producers, but also Big L, the amazing Big L.
Oh, of course. Very, very powerful influence, man. You gotta imagine, like, as a person that grew up listening to Big Pun and Big L, and then I'm on the movie set playing the shit so surreal, it's crazy, you know?
So what other projects you got going on? I know you have the brand new There Is No Mafia, which obviously we covered on Insomniac. Tell me a little bit about that.
Just like my first non-single producer project in a while. Just went out, picked a bunch of beats I really fuck with, got a bunch of people I really fuck with in the underground. Just put that shit together, shot the documentary for it. We just dropped part 1 of it. We got 3 more parts. I got 2 more videos coming from There's No Mafia. I think we got Jenga and Hard Times is out right now. And I just shot the video for Tommy Karate. And then me and Primo Prophet are out here in Boston shooting that Elder Statesman video right now.
It seems as though in this era of, I don't know, music that isn't so lyrical as far as hip hop is concerned, music that doesn't really dig in the crates, you know, you're sticking with that iconic sound. Tell me about the motivation to come correct, if you will.
I think that just really, you know, I'm from upstate New York, Rochester. A lot of the sound that you're hearing, there's a lot of talented artists, you know, in the region that have that sound that everybody's so in love with. So it's kind of just been like we've been doing this the whole time. And, you know, fortunately, this resurgence has happened and, you know, we get in our time to show what we got, you know.
No question. And there definitely has been a, for lack of a better word, an upstate New York wave when it comes to the authentic hip hop sound. You're saying that it's been there all along. What do you think it is about the more recent years that the spotlight has hit? Is it really about, I don't know, some of the talent that broken through like Griselda, or is it something else that?
I think Griselda straight up drop kicked the fucking door down and just, it's really opened up the floodgates for everybody. So, I mean, this shit is astounding what they're doing. Like, all praise to them, because they really just, like I said, they drop kicked the fucking door down for everybody else in upstate or anybody in the tri-state area that was, you know, coming with that grungy sound or whatever. And they, you know, and they're just taking that shit to levels that you didn't think that underground rap could go to. And that shit is beautiful, you know?
Very true. Speaking of Griselda, I mean, one of the things that was, I think, part of their success, outside obviously great music, was that they had their visuals down packed. They understood their branding, you know. And when I look at some of your albums, I kind of see that there as well, meaning that you have a good idea about your branding and you pay attention to the aesthetics. Tell me a little bit about that.
I'm just real hands-on. all the way, you know, not just the music and mixing and arranging, but album covers, artwork, videos. My guy New Vegas, he's been done like my last 10 videos. He's the one that did the documentary. I'm working with him hand in hand, just coming up with new, different ideas. So we're not rapping in front of a corner store. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to do shit to keep, you know, audience amused. We're just in this time where nobody has an attention span past like fucking 45 seconds. So I'm just, you know, we're just trying to top ourselves every time. We put out a video, okay, that was cool. What can we do that's better than that?
Right. Right. So you mentioned a documentary. Obviously, you know, that is a big part of today's environment, like having a lot of things happening at one time, not just staying in a lane. Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about that, the motivation for a documentary and maybe some of the other things you've done.
I mean, basically the documentary just came from, we're doing all this shit, moving around, you know, doing all this shit. It's like, why not turn the camera on so people could see what it is? And, you know, it started out just to be just shooting like a small piece into now we have a 40-minute documentary that's dropping in parts. And as far as like stepping outside of rap, you know, I had me and Mikey Likes It did the collab ice cream shop in New York City. Shout out to Mikey. I dropped my own ice cream flavor, monikered after the weed strain I have out. I just did a collab with Classic Material. I'm trying to get my hands in different shit, obviously. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me about the collab you did with Classic Material. So you did a merch drop with them, right?
Yep.
And how'd that work out?
Sold out first day. That's my boy Carlos over there. Showed nothing but love. Came with a super fire product. He had an idea. Hit the green light. Let's go. That's just another thing that got kind of held up by COVID, as well as with the Mikey Likes shit and the movie shit. And, you know what I mean? So once it cleared up, I'm pedal to the metal right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not stopping. So
right. And then in regard to COVID, man, obviously it's still out there. How is it up in the Northeast? You're in Boston at this moment. How is it?
Right now,
how is it over there?
I'm in Boston right now, which is I have to say it's way different than like New York, as far as, you know, like severity of people being on, having masks on, and people, you know, staying away from each other. Like New York is shit. There's too many people and the shit's inevitable. So out here it's a little bit different. Like me and Primo just went to go eat, and they're just real. They're really sticking to the laws or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. I don't like COVID. It's bad. I don't want to wear a mask.
Yeah, that's definitely bad news, man. It's hoping. I guess we're all hoping for that vaccine to come, you know, sooner than later.
And I need this shit to go away.
Tell me a little bit about Daupe. Is Daupe and is that how you pronounce it? I see it written on the site.
Yeah, it's Daupe. A lot of people say Daupe. It's Daupe.
Tell me about that. They specialize in limited physical releases. What's your affiliation with them, and how did that come about?
Well, I kind of just they hit me up. They were like, "Yo, we really like what you do, and we'd like to give your vinyls, you know, you're like, give your projects the vinyl treatment that they deserve, you know." So they hit me up around the time. I think when the first thing I released with them is the 2-Packs EP with Smoke Dizza. Mm-hmm. So we put that out, and if you know anything with Daupe, you know, they sell out in like 90 seconds. They got serious resale value, etc. And then the same thing happened with Traficante, and now There's No Mafia will be dropping on Daupe as well with the vinyl and cassette treatment. Super limited, you already know. Very
nice, very cool. So are you a collector of vinyl?
I'm a collector of Supreme.
I got it.
I don't, you know, like I got a lot of vinyls. To keep it 100, I probably got about 20 or 30 vinyls in my house. Some shit that I sampled, a lot of shit I just haven't, like old shit, and my own shit that's on vinyl.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I got you. I got you. So obviously, we all know that COVID definitely put a damper on a lot of the action. However, before the pandemic, were you doing a lot of shows?
I was about to do the Traficante concert with Buck Wild at SOBs in New York City. We were literally in the process of getting it all laid out. And literally that same week, I believe I was on Hot 97 with Peter Rosenberg with Flea. And that was like the day New York City shut down. So kind of like I did that interview and then we just like straight bounced because the whole city was shutting down. That was March 13th, Friday the 13th.
Wow. So were there other shows that you were doing before that? I mean, were you doing a lot of shows?
Just here and there, but I was mostly like more focused on getting my health right because I'm still heavy. I've actually lost a little bit of weight, making me a little bit easier for me to get around. Nobody want to see me fucking have a heart attack on stage. So I got, dropped a few pounds, got my health together. Now I'm out here fucking killing it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So you've been on quite a journey, man, in the music business. What would you say has been your biggest lesson so far?
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I can't make it no more fucking black and white than that. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And treat every single project like it's the first shit motherfuckers ever heard from you.
And would you say that there was a piece of advice that you've gotten? You've come across some pretty heavy hitters, I would say, in the time that I've been aware of you. Obviously, you mentioned Buck Wild, and I'm sure there were plenty of others. You mentioned Primo a minute ago. Any Primo advice that you've gotten? Just top advice that you really feel served you well.
I think Buck Wild told me the best when he was like, all you have to do to win this is don't stop. So that's the key. Like, I'm literally learning over the last, because I've rapped forever, you know what I'm saying? But over the last 3-4 years, I'm realizing consistency is key and this shit is a marathon, you know what I'm saying? So as long as your product is really it and you don't stop, it's going to break at some point.
Indeed. So is there anything that you want folks to know, folks that are familiar with you from your videos or your projects, that you feel they don't know about Pounds?
Yo, to keep it 100, at this point, with me breaking into being more transparent, which I had a problem with, for a long time, because I try not to get personal on records. And I think maybe a few albums back, I kind of did break into that a little bit. So I'm kind of like being 1,000% transparent, as an artist with my fans. So honestly, go listen to my music. You're going to know everything you need to know about me.
Indeed, indeed. You've been doing a lot of collabs, a lot of projects, even if it's just features from top-notch talent in hip hop. If you don't mind, share a little bit about the process that you go through working with someone else in the game. Is it all remote? Are you getting in the lab and writing?
Oh no, I like to do everything face to face on the spot. My creative process kind of goes like, I go in the studio, I hear the beat, and I do it on the spot. I don't come in the studio with pre-written verses. I don't got verses loaded up in my phone. Everything you've ever heard me rap on is literally on the spot. Everything. Nice. Down to like the Buck Wild album where he was, chopping the sample in the session and I'm writing my verse while he's basically formatting the beat. So when he's done to load it in to record, my verse is ready and we're going.
Very nice. Tell us a little bit about what's coming next. I mean, you got a lot in the pipeline. You got a movie that we're going to see you in, got a brand new album. What else could folks look for from Pounds?
I got about 4 more projects locked and loaded. I got a lot more different collabs that you're going to be seeing, not necessarily clothing or food. I got my hands in a whole bunch of shit. I think they're just going to start popping up and, hopefully people are going to take a little bit more notice than they have.
Well, they definitely have been taking notice, man. You've been doing your thing. As you know, you've been featured on Insomniac Magazine a whole lot.
Yeah, a lot of times. I appreciate y'all, man.
No question, man. So I want to thank you. I know you're at a video set, so I want to make sure you get back to your work. But I want to
Yeah,
thank you for taking
out.
time for doing this interview. I wish you continued success, and look forward to chatting in the future again.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate y'all. Keep it underground.